Hey guys, Leah and Michelle, Resistance Chicks coming at you March 7th,
We're bringing on our
2017.
fighting stance for this one. We need everybody behind this farmer.
Amish
I gotta
farmer.
tell you, we're on a farming freedom kick right now, and this poor Amish farmer, is sitting in prison for making healing salves.
And
now,
this article is from just the end of February, so this is very recent.
He's been going through hoops, and I've been hearing about him, and I'm going to bring it to you. I want this to go nationwide. I want this to go worldwide, and see our FDA's overreach, but also to pray for and to support this Amish farmer. His name is Sam Girod, and he's in jail. His enemies want him to be there for life. I think they're 68 years they want to do to him. This might turn out to be the hardest newsletter this person's ever written. I definitely think I've spent the most time on it. She said that she started over 5 times and still don't like it, but we're going to just kind of piece together these pieces, and I don't like it. And I think it's one of those reasons where I just got so frustrated with this one that I haven't done a story on it, and I needed to do a story on it. This is really important. This man, Samuel Girod, is an Amish farmer in Kentucky, just
very
a
local
couple
to us.
Hours away from us. And he's an herbal salve maker and a father of 12, and he's in jail. He's been there for over a month, and he has done nothing even remotely worthy of this treatment of this magnitude. Sam had made some healing claims on the labeling of his herbal salves, and this is all escalated from there. First of all, we're talking about healing salves, like maybe mixed with some olive oil, mixed with herbs that you would put on acne, and in his case, he had anti-cancer, skin cancer salves.
Right.
Now,
turmeric itself, I don't know what he was putting in there, but turmeric
there's
is
a lot
great
of
anti-cancer.
herbs that people have been using for years.
For
skin
millennials,
cancer and things like this. They didn't always have ways to burn it off. There's always been healing things. Now, the FDA is designed for things that haven't been tested, right? And when it comes to herbs and salves, they've been used for thousands of years, and they shouldn't fall under the FDA ruling. You know, elderberry's been out there for thousands of years. All these different things have been out there for thousands of years. It's like,
I want to interrupt something here, okay? The problem I have with this is the guy says, listen, this can help with cancer, right? So do they say about chemotherapy. They're allowed to say that chemotherapy and radiation can get rid of your cancer, but guess what, guys?
Right.
It's not 100%. It's not always going to work.
right.
So that's the same thing with these salves.
So when they
Well, it is time tested and approved.
time tested and approved.
1,000 years
Right.
time tested. Doesn't need
It-
FDA
because
approval.
it didn't go through FDA approval. Now, we're going to talk to the nature of how he was arrested and then why he was arrested. When they came to arrest Sam, they corralled his wife and his children into the yard and to be guarded by an agent with a semi-automatic rifle. According to the family friend that I spoke with, his children are still having nightmares. No duh. And you know what? You're allowed to have illegal immigrants, and there's sanctuary cities for illegal immigrants. This is what blows my mind. They put Sam in handcuffs, hauled him to prison, locked him up without bail. Like an Amish farmer, where's he going to go, right? And threw enough charges against him, 28,000 pages of legal documents.
Oh my gosh!
If they have their way in court, Sam will be in prison for the rest of his life. He's 57, and they want him in prison for 68 years. Do you know what? I just read of, randomly, a German guy who raped a woman, that old woman, and he got
10
a year and a
years.
half. No, a year and a half. One that I read, a year and a half. 20 months. 20 months. Rapists and child pedophiles. The lady who is running this women's march, she was in prison for 10 years in an Israeli prison for killing 2 people by bombing. This man had a little salve of herbs and said, oh my, this is...
And so you want to ask why? Why, Leah and Michelle? Why Resistance Chicks? Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. This is not making any sense. There must be more to the story. No. They do this and they pull somebody out to make a display of them.
Don't you
to put
dare start your own business.
Don't you dare try to
start
do healing
healing.
salves.
Right.
Because you could be put in prison for the rest of your life, and it's scare tactics.
Right.
And they're making an example of a father of 12 who is Amish.
Okay, so let's go over why this happened. For the last 16 years, this large family, they have made homemade herbal salves as a family. They sold it from their farm and at a few small stores near them. The family makes 3 products: a chickweed salve, a bloodroot salve called Tomorgon, and an essential oil blend called Sign Ease, and these are the pictures behind us, okay? So their main salve is the one Sam called Chickweed Healing Salve. It's made with wild harvested herbs like chickweed, rosemary, comfrey, peppermint, eucalyptus, and lavender essential oils as ingredients blended with olive oil and beeswax to stiffen it. We make these things at home all the time. The salve making is not rocket science. Any of you could make these products in your kitchen. They're not going to kill anyone. In fact, many people do. But like so many other areas of life, moms are busy, salve making is messy, and so folks are quite happy to pay Sam and his family to do it. So they do it. So the $64,000 question is, what in the world, pick her up by her back legs. She's a little stuck. Our dog got stuck.
Mom, just stand her up.
So what in the world went wrong? How did this peace-loving, quiet, minding his own business, Amish family farmer, father of 12, and loyal American citizen end up in jail for making herbal salves?
How is it possible that this simple God-fearing father, who would any other year be out working his fields with his horses, getting ready for spring planting, be now sitting behind jail bars, considered as a dangerous criminal?
These questions seem to defy answers, but let me show you how easy it actually is to make an innocent man look criminal. Then maybe you'll understand. Innocent labeling mishap. Sam's nightmare started over 12 years ago. Their family was still new in the salve business, and he had quite honestly and transparently labeled his one salve as Chickweed Healing Salve and had healing testimonial claims on the label. He also did not have the familiar FDA disclaimer that looks like this. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food, Drug, blah, 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 blah. Sam, in his simple, disconnected from the world Amish way of life, may not have realized that healing claims, coupled with the disclaimer omission, amounted to a cardinal sin in the eyes of the FDA. And this is where it boggles my mind.
I don't even think that this disclaimer should even have to be on there.
Hillary Clinton set up a private server. She did criminal things and sent classified information, but she was let off because James Comey said she didn't really mean to do it. She lied, but she didn't really mean to do it. She didn't understand what she was doing. So she was let... don't get me started!
No, you're started.
Ah!
You're started.
I'm going to get my tick. I'm getting my eye tick on
to
this one.
fight
Right.
in the power of God.
Yes, we're going to get to that in a minute.
This is how we fight, because you get to... You know how this is won? In the court of public opinion. You bring them down through public opinion. You write them, you get to them, and you pray for them, and you don't listen to them.
Trump.
And you share and get this to
Exactly.
Trump. Trump needs to get this guy out.
Okay, so maybe he just didn't feel the disclaimer was truthful or even right to use. Maybe Sam felt it was dishonest to say that his salve was not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease, when of course, that is exactly what his salve for. It says this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure. Okay. So, for whatever reason, Sam was soon to get an education. To criminalize a man, it's fairly easy to criminalize a man, especially if he makes his first misstep. And he says, the author says, please stick with me. It's critical that you understand how it's bureaucratically possible to make a good man look bad. How easy it is for otherwise sensible people to rationalize that good is evil and evil is good and that light is darkness.
As spread out in Isaiah 5:20. That's important that she put that there.
The entire criminalization of Sam is based on the FDA's official public position that only a drug can diagnose, treat, and cure or prevent any disease. They really do say and believe this.
Only a drug can do that. There has been proof that herbs can heal.
And that, truthfully, is what 100% of this fiasco is based on. As soon as you accept this number one non-fact as truth, your mind is perfectly right for the next three
Orwellian twistings.
So, Sam says his herbal salve helps for treating or preventing a disease. Therefore, his product is obviously
A drug.
point number one proves
Point number 2.
in a discussion. So, since this new drug has not been approved by us, the FDA, therefore his drug is
Illegal.
Do you see how this is developing? And it's impossible to argue against it if you accept number one. So therefore, since Sam has admitted that he's been selling the salve, and we've proved that his salve is a drug, and an illegal one at that, Sam is admittedly an illegal drug dealer.
Oh my God.
He's even selling his illegal drug across state lines.
And that makes it even worse.
So he's actually a national interstate drug dealer. And that makes Sam an exceedingly dangerous criminal. Bind him, men, and take him away.
Oh my God. All right, probably can skip through that.
So this situation is not funny. When the FDA informed Sam that his healing claims made his salve a drug and he was in for big trouble, Sam dutifully and respectively took the offensive word healing
Off of the label.
removed the reference to possibly healing skin cancer, and changed the name to chickweed salve. Now, I have been all over the place, and I've seen many, many, many herbal people selling salves.
Oh, absolutely.
And they tell you what they're going to do to heal and what they work for, okay? When that still was not good enough, he renamed it again to original chickweed. After the label changes, Sam says all was quiet until about 3 years ago. And suddenly everything came roaring back. Apparently a local health official spotted Sam's chickweed salve in a small convenience store in Missouri. The local official informed a state health official who informed the FDA, who swept in and seized the salve. Now listen, there are salves, I've seen people making and selling salves all over this country, and that's why they're making a deal about him, okay?
A display. An example.
The violation promotional brochures were found in the Missouri store with testimonials from Sam's customers claiming to have healed various skin ailments by the salves.
Now, guess what? Testimonials should be legal. Look, I used this and it did this. It's just a testimonial. Nobody ever takes those as fact.
Go to church, so-and-so healed me. Well, I'm going to have to lock up the minister for a false healer, right?
Yeah.
Aha! So since Sam is still claiming healing, even though it is not on his label this time, the healing claims are in the same store. So that means if we stretch the interpretation just a little, we could make a case that Sam is still selling drugs, and we have not approved, and so he's still an illegal drug dealer. Plus now we charge him with selling illegal drugs across state lines. So the illegal drug inspections began. To his credit, Sam tried to be agreeable and peaceable, even though he rightfully insisted that his salves have nothing to do with drugs. His protest fell on deaf ears. They are drugs because you claim they heal, cure, and prevent disease. Sam reluctantly gave the FDA permission to inspect, hoping to pacify them. But he did ask one thing. Since their family is Amish and photography is offensive to their practice of faith, he asked the agents not take pictures. Sam says the FDA agreed and they would not take pictures during the inspection, but when the agents arrived to do the inspection, they immediately pulled cameras and proceeded to shoot pictures, completely breaking their word and completely ignoring and disrespecting Sam's reasonable request to respect his faith. Is anyone surprised that when the agents later came back unannounced to do another search of Sam's facilities, that this time Sam refused them permission? He no longer trusted them. They had broken their word the previous time, plus they didn't have a search warrant. The deputy sheriff who had escorted the agents told the FDA that this was totally within Sam's rights. They legally needed a search warrant to inspect, and that's true. And we're part of the Farm and Consumer Legal Defense Fund because there's all kinds of farmers who are being
Wrongfully inspected.
treated this way, and you do not need to allow someone onto your property without a search warrant. Gesturing towards the street, the sheriff told the agents, "There's the road." The sheriff, right?
Good job, Sheriff.
The agents left, but they didn't give up. And see, when you do that, they come back with a vengeance. In fact, it seems that they may have been just a tad irritated about this little bit of a nobody Amish man called their bluff about something as small as keeping their word. He even made them retreat to get a warrant, and he's an illegal drug dealing Amish man at that. No worries, Sam. We will be back with a warrant. And they were, and the charges escalate with every turn. Sam, probably naively, is representing himself in court, and he has made a few blunders there. He's Amish, so he doesn't have a telephone or computer, so it's rather hard for him to communicate with. Because of a miscommunication, he missed a court date a few months ago, which has not endeared him to the already irated prosecutors. So now he's charged with contempt of court. He's charged with introducing illegal drugs into interstate commerce, charged with manufacturing drugs without a license, charged for misbranding drugs, charged with obstructing or threatening a witness in the federal grand jury indictment, which Sam has no idea what, how, or who they are referring to. He's charged with conspiring with others to prevent by force, intimidation, and threaten FDA agents from discharging the duties of their office. You get the picture. If you have been paying attention over the last 25 years to the conduct of federal agents in conflictual situations, these charges and the extreme use of force and weight is chillingly familiar. Like the guy who, I think he was growing blackberries and they raided him for pot.
Yeah.
Unless a miracle happens, the situation does not bode well for Sam or his family. So what to do? Join us in prayer.
Sam's wife's name is Elizabeth.
Maybe if I remember to put up a link here, there's an address you can write to her. and maybe write to the authorities that are in
We'll
on
scroll
this.
back up there
Okay.
to the address so we can tell them where it is.
Well, I'll just put a link in the thing.
Okay, well, Owingsville, Kentucky. So if you guys want to be able to get involved, and I'm really hoping that maybe even Congressman Massey can step in here and help and do something.
Yeah,
about
definitely.
this.
This one's hard. This one was hard. I hate to report on things that are so awful like this because we want you guys to be excited that things are changing. But
But
this
it's
is
just
why
like
we have
CNN.
to change.
You go into court and say, this is fake news.
This is fake
This
news.
is the truth.
Yeah.
Salve is known for years and 1,000 years approval
Right.
to heal. Everybody
Exactly.
knows it. It's Constitution.
You guys, these are
The
herbs,
Declaration
okay?
of
They're not
Independence.
illegal herbs.
The Declaration of Independence based everything on self-evident.
Right.
And so he goes in and says this is self-evident to everybody in the universe. This is a universal salve, universal herbs. It's self-evident, universal.
I have like at least
They
5
are false
books on healing herbs.
FDA. They are false fake
And that's
news.
another thing. We need to, and I know you guys are going to get upset at me, some of you, but listen.
Right.
The FDA has no constitutional grounds to even exist.
It has to be gone.
Okay? It needs to just go away. Each state needs to control what happens within its state. Each state is essentially sovereign within this republic.
Well, it's crazy.
There's no reason for this.
You can't. Congressman Massey, and some other guys are trying to get a raw milk bill in. Right now, it's illegal. If you have a Hershey here in Ohio, you could be arrested if you sell it in Kentucky. This is stupid. We have illegal immigrants coming over the border, killing people, raping people, and everybody has sanctuary cities. Well, why don't we have sanctuary cities for
Food
farmers?
people, yeah, for
and
farmers,
for
that
salve
might be able to-
makers.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And what I really like about Trump, and that's why I'm hoping that these are the kinds of things that I really think that Trump should be addressing, because he's talking about putting America first. Okay, and by putting America first, we need to untie the
This is
hands
part of like,
Americans to live.
Obamacare. You wouldn't need as much insurance if you could start to heal yourself.
You guys have no idea how much homeopathic healing,
Right.
they're going to come and cart me off to jail, really does work. It absolutely, unequivocally works.
Trump is doing something. He took care of the guy with the puddle of water.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
The
He
EPA.
said they overreached.
The EPA also has
It was
no
abuse of
constitutional
power.
right to exist. It
With the
needs to
puddle.
Fine,
I've been
Obama,
I'm meaning
abuse
to
of
do that
power.
one because so Trump is doing things. He overruled Obama's executive order to overreach because there was a guy like with a puddle of water and he was told he wasn't allowed to keep the water from his puddle. I mean, it's just
There, it is illegal to
interstate
collect
or interway
rainwater
waterways.
within certain states and stuff like that
Oregon.
too.
Right.
So,
Okay, so we're
all right, we need to wrap this up. I'm sorry this was so long, but you guys need to be making a noise about this. Share it on your social media pages. All right, you guys, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it's not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos just like this one, and find us on Facebook. Do we have one more story for them?
We'll see.
Okay, all right, you guys. We'll see you back later. Bye.
I was cold, all alone. No place for